Hey everyone, how are we doing? So it's night time, as you can all see. So I'm out and about, and I'll gently explain why. What a wonderful evening. So those of you that are here in the UK, if you haven't already, I would say to you, take a look out your window. It's a really clear night, depending when you're going to watch this, of course, but it's a really clear night, and the moon is really low in the sky. Traditionally this is known as, so it's full moon, so it's traditionally known as harvest moon, and it's such a clear night. Randomly, I love how these things kind of just seem to synchronize and how they come together and happen. As many of you know from some of the videos going back not so long ago, I was talking about dynamo hubs, dynamo lighting, almost, you know, being able to power all the electronics on the bike from human power, pedal power. And I thought to myself, okay, you know, I'll road test it. And I road test it on Thursday evening. It turns out it is harvest moon. So let me just show you. Not that the camera is going to do it any justice, but there she is. It's just wonderful, really clear sky. As I say, the camera really doesn't do it any justice. And what we've got here as well, if you can see, is the bike there. The bike front headlight is just sitting on a stand light, and over the next couple of minutes that's just going to dim down, but it's absolutely powered by a dynamo hub. When that's driving, when you're riding the bike, it's really bright, brighter than I imagined it would be, which is really incredible. In the next week or so, I'm getting an e-work being delivered, and that is going to be able to turn and convert all the energy that has been driven by the dynamo hub through the lights into the e-work, which is going to then power all the electronics on the bike, i.e. the iPhone and also the Garmin, which is a sat nav and a tracker, all going to be powered off the hub there on the front wheel, which is really exciting, you know, to be able to kind of be in the middle of nowhere, be unplugged, but yet being able to power everything on the bike is really exciting. You know, it means that you can get into real remote landscapes, remote environments, but yet all continue to run all your electronics, and I just find that really exciting. So and oddly, over the last couple of weeks, you know, we're talking about light, we're talking about illumination, it's harvest moon. Over the last couple of weeks I've had an issue with the front light outside of my porch, an issue with the light in my bathroom, kept flickering on and off. It's all to do with light and illumination, and it got me thinking, you know, that last couple of weeks, you know, at different times I'd wake up and I'd kind of find myself having a very heavy heart, and, you know, got me thinking, you know, why and what's going on. And I think that, you know, if we kind of look out into the world, there is so much happening. You know, there's so much kind of trauma, there's so much uncertainty, there's so much conflict, and there's so much that has happened in a short space of time. And I think that, you know, those of us that have maybe a sensitivity, maybe have an awareness, is that quite often we can kind of absorb all of that, and it's kind of heavy energy, it's kind of quite dark, you know, and that after a while can cause you to almost, you know, feel like as if you just want to close up, you want to close down. And I can remember having those kind of discussions, if you like, with the innate, with my deeper self, and, you know, realizing and understanding that, you know, that actually what's needed is that we need to just shine a lot brighter. You know, we need to just try to find that kind of strength to just shine a little bit brighter, not allow the darkness, if you like, to kind of take a foothold. You know, I know many people that choose to not watch the news, and I think that absolutely is a wise choice, and I absolutely really get that, although I find myself kind of very curious to what's going on. So, you know, I kind of sit there and I watch it, but actually what you're really doing is you're really absorbing and you're sponging up all that kind of heavy energy. It's really hard not to, you know. And I kind of, even in this last week, I had a situation where I was literally knocked off my feet by a pedestrian, that it just, you know, this person just literally snapped, pushed me over completely off my feet, and I was so unprepared for that. And at the time, what makes it kind of, you know, like quite amusing as I look back on it, is that I wasn't even riding my bike, I was pushing my bike, you know. And situations like that can cause you to kind of almost take a step back, and almost want to kind of just kind of close yourself off. But actually what we need to do is we just need to shine a lot more brighter. We need to kind of almost meet that with a strength, you know, rather than it push us into a place of being suppressed, or a place of, you know, living in fear, or living in uncertainty, or living, you know, is a feeling of being afraid, or even a victim. What we need to do is almost, you know, kind of meet it, and stand tall and stand strong, you know. Don't allow that darkness to take a hold and kind of creep in and kind of dim your light. You know, what we need to do is shine brighter. I know how I felt a couple of days after that. I was kind of in a bit of a level of shock that, you know, someone can just almost snap like that. And what it was is that it was along a cycle path, and it was a very, very wide cycle path. And this person just kind of, in a way, instead of moving around this, and I wasn't on my own, but instead of moving around this, they kind of stood there, and almost was in a way trying to block us, and there was an altercation, and then they literally just knocked me off my feet. You know, I think sometimes, you know, people walking around with a huge amount of kind of trauma, and it's like sometimes, you know, people are looking for that conflict, and then it fits, you know, and then suddenly, you know, it all just boils over, because actually there isn't the gap in there from, you know, I talk about sometimes fight or flight, you know, heightened level of stress, that sometimes people are right on the edge of that. They are literally on the edge of that. So they come across the situation, or they drop their keys, they drop their phone, they lose their keys, or they have an argument with someone, and it just literally just escalates and boils over almost like a volcano. And what it is that already was charged, that was already primed. And I think, you know, at the heart of it, it's not about us just kind of, you know, becoming defeated by that, even though that's a challenge, even though that's not always easy. As I say, you know, it literally knocked me off my feet, and I had to adjust and kind of make sense of that over a couple of days. But, you know, what it's really about is, you know, becoming bright, you know, shining that light, and absolutely not allowing it to dim your light or to dim who you are. There you go, guys. So there's a few thoughts. Enjoy this evening, because it's absolutely a wonderful and magical evening. And as you can see right now, that light is gone out. So in a moment I shall hop back on the bike. I'm going to go for a nice little circular ride around town. I'm going to pick up some fish and chips, going to pick up a cider and raise a glass to the harvest moon, to all of you, and to the many adventures to come, and to also to the fact that, you know, just to stand tall and burn brightly. Take care, guys. See you all very soon. Bye.